Today we remember St. Monica, the mother of St. Augustine of Hippo, powerful force in the life of the Church. Biography tells us that when it came time for Augustine to leave home, he couldn't bear to tell his mother, so he slipped away behind her back on a boat to Rome. He did this knowing she would suffer what he called the pangs of childbirth all over again. Not yet a Christian, he left her to worry about him from a distance. And yet in what seemed a little while, he met her again face to face, because Monica caught her own boat and followed him all the way from North Africa to Rome, and then from Rome to Milan. So determined was she to secure his conversion to Christ died, risen, and coming again. There was no getting away from Monica. She persevered in all things, and in our gospel this morning, Jesus wants the disciples to know that while he may seem to slip away from them, he'll always be there. He wants them to persevere and trust whatever happens next. You may have pain now, he says, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice. Facing his inevitable departure from the disciples who love him, Jesus knows they will suffer. But you won't remember the anguish this costs you, he suggests, because in the end, your anguish will come into joy, like having a baby, arriving any day now in just a little while. This vision pushes against time as we count it, one anxious year to the next, leaving here and heading there, riddled with glad that's over or wish it wasn't, and suggests that time itself is always coming into a gracious fullness that will heal our separations, not sustain them, whether from God or one another, whether from those who have died or from formative places and people we leave behind. We will meet again. I'm reminded of a boy I once met who held on to the hope of his mother's release from prison. I'd taken him to visit her 2 hours away in Tutwiler Prison with his grandmother riding in the back seat. On the way home, and more than halfway there, he realized he'd left his cell phone inside the prison, and he asked me if we could turn around to go get it. His grandmother scolded him on the way back and told me he didn't really need it. No one pays that bill anymore, she said. It doesn't work like it used to, and even if it did, he still couldn't call his mother. The clock works, the boy pushed back. If I keep it charged, it still tells time. And anyway, Mama's the one gave it to me, not you. Like this boy claiming the gift of a disconnected cell phone, counting time by the minute, aiming himself toward reunion with his mother, we frame our lives in the little while Jesus promises us, the little while that stretches through separations to joy. The clock works, and from one broken bread to the next, we live the mystery of faith. Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again.